Hi, I remember something else, and again, trying to put the pieces together. I mentioned earlier about things with the baby and the fear of having a physical exam, a GYN exam. Well, 8 years ago, I had to have surgery. Now, I didn't want to go through the VA, that's the Veterans Hospital, to get any work done. I don't feel comfortable with them. But so I was able to find a private doctor who took my insurance, and so I had for them to do the pelvic exam. They had to put me under. But while she does this, she tore inside that my vaginal area. Is when I woke up and got home that there was blood. And then I felt something coming out. So it was like a gauze, a bloody gauze coming out. So she told me that, oh, well, she tried to cover up. She tore inside, okay? And they used a very big speculum. I thought they were going to examine a cow or something. I've never seen a speculum that big in my life. And I should have spoken up. I said, no, use a different one. That thing's going to kill me. But they put me under, and I was like, timid. So ladies, if you see something that you don't speak out, okay, I should have spoken out, okay. So either way, um, what was I getting at? Okay, so because I had a fibroid and it was causing me a lot of pain. But before she was to remove the fibroid, she had to do a physical exam. She has to cover her behind. She has to do a pelvic exam, see what's going on that way before even doing an operating procedure on me to remove the fibroid. Okay, so so she was able to do the exam, and then I had the procedure done, and it was a success. When you have a fibroid removed, they did like a bikini line on me, and um, she initially said I had a whole ton of fibroids all over. She even drew the picture. I had tons of fibroids, plus the main one. And then when I come to and everything, um, there's only one fibroid she removed. So I'm thinking, wow, why just one? You're in there, take them all out, I'm thinking. But it didn't make sense. And then, like, because it's a surgery, major surgery, it was just an overnighter. And then they send you home. I had a family member take me home. And then, you really have to recuperate. I did very well to recuperate. They said, walk, walk, walk. When you walk, it heals the uterus. So, yeah, I wanted to heal. Um, so, um, the person, what was that now? Oh, so I think they called up the next day or the day after, day after, 1 or 2 days after the procedure, and I'm home. They said, oh, this is nurse so-and-so, and we're just checking up on you since you had the surgery. We just want to know how you're feeling, just following up. And I think this was okay. And then, I'm mixing the stories a bit. No, it wasn't that. I'm getting two stories confused. But yeah, I know they had to call you for the post-surgery. But a nurse called me. That's right, I'm remembering now. A nurse had called me from after the pelvic exam, and they said, just wanted to make sure that you're okay, because we had to use what do you call it, a scope in you. I said, oh, really, a scope? She said, we had to use the scope, but everything's okay, and, just want to make sure that you're okay. So I said, wow, she didn't tell me that she had to use a scope. So, I thanked her. I said everything seems okay. So I called her, my gynecologist, and I, I, I asked her about it. I said, oh, I got a call from your office, is find out how I was doing, and she said that you had to use a scope in me. She says, well, how would she know that? She wasn't in the room, and we didn't use a scope. And she's getting very argumentative. I'm wondering what's going on. I said, and I'm not arguing, I'm just asking you because she told me so. And then I started feeling, oh wow, my mind now. Wow. Um, so, and then I mentioned about the bleeding, that she did something and tore inside, okay? And she tried to hide that. And so, and this is just a regular pelvic exam. And then the nurse telling me that, well, that they had to use a scope. What the hell, excuse my language. Why would they need to use a scope for a regular GYN exam that will cause bleeding and the largeness of the implement that you use? Like, I've been to tons of doctors, and this thing was humongous. And I'm wondering, why would they choose something like that for me? I'm not a big person, and I've never had a child before. Why would she choose and to to use that on me to cause damage? And then the scope. What they use the scope for? So I'm wondering what all this means. What you use the scope for what? And then the doctor said, oh, well, she didn't mean to say scope or the speculum. No, no, no. Every girl, every woman knows it's a speculum. Everybody. And you're a nurse, and that's your field. You know the difference between a scope and a speculum. Okay? And so at that point, I wanted to get copies of my records. Because, see, I've been following about this fibroid for about, let's see, from 2001 to 2009, for years, okay? Yeah, 2009. So that's 8 years that I've been following this tumor. I mean, we'll call it fibroid, and it was a big one. And it's causing me discomfort and everything. So I've been following my exam. I always get copies of my records. There's nothing new. You get this exam, you get a blood exam, any exam. I like to get a copy for my records because if I have to go to another doctor for follow-up or whatever, you can show that to your doctor. She didn't want to give me the copy. So I'm wondering what's going on. It didn't make sense. And she seemed fearful and everything. So at that point, that's when I got paranoid. And I demanded, I said, I want you to give me my records. What's going on? So I went in person. Because they said, oh, well, you have to come in person to get it. Oh, you have to pay us. I said, okay, whatever. I'll come in and whatever you say so I can get a copy of my records. But now I feel like she's hiding something. Okay? I had to get a relative of mine to intercede, who this relative is also a GYN person, and they know each other. And coincidental that that relative of mine trained this lady in her field. And I asked her, my relative, to talk to her, and this letter, I just wanted to get a copy of my records. So he spoke. I wasn't there at the conversation of them, but she sent me some records. But everything just seems in the up and up. But with records, that anybody could give you what they feel like giving you, because you don't have the actual, the whole file. They can give you whatever. They can give you one page. That's it. It doesn't make sense. It was done in a private hospital. She's a private doctor. She doesn't work with the system, you know. But I'm wondering what she did to me. And I'm thinking with the scope that she used, that maybe she inserted something in me. There's nothing to really see in the use. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but why hide that? Just said, oh yeah, since I was up in there and all the fibers, blah blah blah, that we needed the scope. I have no problem with her using a scope. I want her to be thorough. That's me. You're in there, do what you gotta do, see what you gotta see, um, and so you know how to handle me. But it turned out like one thing with this, the fibroids, it was only one removed. I think, why would you just remove one? And it was just one that she said it was on the outside of the uterus, so it's easy to just get in and out. I think the whole procedure took 20 minutes, and that was it. So I'm wondering what really happened. Why would you just take one? And prior to that operation procedure, to help me prepare for the procedure, I watched on YouTube doctors that did um, um, what they call myomectomy. That's the removal of fibroids. And this doctor was so thorough. Some things the size of a little pea. She wanted to get rid of every growth in that uterus. She spent her time, you know. And again, this was a black doctor, the one that did this other person, and a black woman. The one that did me was a white lady. And I told her, I said, look, I'm interested in having children one day. This is 8 years ago. I said, because she wanted to know what my plan was. She's, what is your goals? I said, well, I like the idea that if I want children, to have children. She says, okay, then I'll do procedures so that because some doctors wanted to remove my uterus and ovaries, a complete removal of my reproductive system. It was really bizarre, really, really bizarre. It was two of them, two doctors, and they were relatively young. The one that actually did my procedure was a much older, a mature lady. She could be in her 50s. Yeah, she was older than me, I think. But it was just very bizarre. So the other two doctors that I saw, their plan was remove everything, and then the last doctor was the one that I chose. Um, and I guess it was because she was white and I'm black, and she doesn't want to get a lawsuit of taking a black woman's reproductive organs that's working. So she asked me, first thing she said is, what is your goals? I said, well, I want you to remove the fibroid because it's causing me pain, and I like the idea that one day I can have kids. Just okay. So what's going on? And that vibrating thing that I get, I'm wondering whether she put something in me, a device, a tracking. I mean, that sounds really paranoid. But you wonder, she did something. She's on super paranoid when I found out about the scope. And I couldn't care less whether she used a scope or not. She's doing her job. But why get hostile and then don't want to show me any of my records? And then the people, the staff there, again, it's a small operation, business she has, and the people at the front desk, they refuse to give me my records. And I couldn't do so. So I had to make that phone call to my relatives, who then when I get there, it's like they had discussed me before I arrived that second time. And then I got to go in to see the doctor because the doctor didn't want to see me. refused to see me initially. And then she allowed me to come in the back. I said, oh, I don't have any complaints with you. I always get copies of any procedure done to me. This is nothing new. So she gave me what she gave me. So this is, just again, sharing with you, trying to put the pieces together on what's going on with my body, why these doctors are acting so bizarre. It made no sense whatsoever. So I know because of her response that something was done more than what I was to know. And I wonder whether that is tied to my extreme fear regarding pregnancy, GYN exams. It makes no sense to me in the natural. Okay? So thank you again for listening. And again, if you have similar stories with, with what happened to you, you can share it below and let us all know. So take care and enjoy. Bye bye.